Phule Pune University, Maharashtra. She has been teaching undergraduate and postgraduate courses in Pali for more than 10 years, where her research and teaching focus on Pali literature. And apart from profession, Truptirani is also pursuing PhD at Savitribai Phule Pune University, Maharashtra. And she holds various degrees from the University of Mumbai, such as MPhil in Pali and NET JRF in Pali, MA in Pali, and MBA in Finance and BTech in Chemical Technology in the Mumbai University. And she also holds various academic positions at Savitribai Phule Pune University, such as assistant professor in the Department of Pali, chairman external examination, paper setter and examiner external examination, internal quality assurance cell, and the National Assessment and Accreditation Council coordinator of the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies at Savitribai Phule Pune University. She is a member of Syllabus Designing Committee at Balbharati, Maharashtra State Bureau of Textbook Production and Curriculum Research at Pune, and also a member of Syllabus Designing Committee for Pali Literature at Maharashtra State Council of Educational Research and Training at Pune. Truptirani is invited member for syllabus designing for MA Pali and other diploma courses. She is also an external examiner to conduct Viva Voice for research projects in Pali language and literature for MA Pali course at the University of the Mumbai, Department of Pali, Mumbai. And we would like to invite you, Truptirani, for the session today, and we are looking forward to learn something new from you today. Thank you for being here with us.
Ma'am, audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Sushma Madam, for a wonderful introduction.
Thank you.
Namo tassa bhagavato arhato samma sambuddhassa. Vandami bhikkhu sangha. Jai Bhim to all. I pay my respect to all the great personalities, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Veer Mata Jizabai, Sant Kabir, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Savitribai Phule, Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj, and Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. Jai Bhim to all. I would like to thank ANA, Ambedkar Association of North America, for giving me an opportunity to share my study on the topic of wealth and investment as seen in Pali literature. And I'm very much thankful to Dr. Sheetal Meshram for her coordination. She has been very consistent in her follow-up. And with due permission of the chair, I begin with my presentation. Before beginning with my presentation, I have been in this session since last 1 hour with you all, since the beginning of the Buddha Vandana and Banteji's discourse and the moral stories by children. And this is a very wonderful pattern of this Ana, which has a good impact on small kids. I think this is a very good session. So to begin with, let me share my slides with you. I have a Word document, which I will first read in front of you. So I begin now. Can I start my sharing my document?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes, thank you. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so let's begin. So the topic which is being decided to present for today's session. An effort to understand the concept of wealth and investment as seen in Pali literature. See, we are householders. When we are householders, we are surely concerned about wealth, earning wealth, right? Because that is the basic need of being a householder. So let's begin. The mankind has unlimited wants. The mankind has unlimited wants. There are numerous teachings in the Pali literature describing the unlimited nature of human wants. As the Buddha said, "Na kahapasya titi kamesu vijjati, appasada dukha kama," which means sensual desires cannot be satisfied by a shower of money, as they give limited pleasure and are filled with suffering. It is also explained in the literature, which states, "Nathi moha samang jalam, tanha samang," which means that there is no net like ignorance and there is no river like craving. The above verse explains that the rivers can sometimes fill their banks, but wants of human beings can never be filled. One such verse which explains the nature of human wants is Pabbatassa Suvarnassa Jata Rupas Kevalo Vittanalamekassa Iti Vidva Samanchare, which means a mountain made of gold, twice of that, would not be sufficient to content a single individual. Knowing this, live in accordance. The Buddha said that even if one could magically transform one single mountain into 2 mountains of solid gold, it would still not provide complete and lasting satisfaction to one person. After enlightenment, the Buddha preached the Dhamma for 45 years. In the course of Dhamma preaching, the Buddha had delivered several discourses on the path of relieving the miseries of living beings. But it does not mean that Buddha's discourse of preaching dealt with spiritual subjects only. Besides spiritual practice, the Buddha had also delivered several other discourses about social, political, psychological, economical, and other themes. Those discourses concentrating different aspects of knowledge are depicted in the Tipitaka. In the first turning of the wheel of law, the Buddha had stressed on right livelihood. Likewise, he had given a lot of messages related to householders through different suttas. The Sigalovada Sutta has emphasized the need of different skills of earning and techniques to increase the earning by proper investment. The Kutadanta and Chakravarti Sutta of Digha Nikaya throw light on the cause of poverty and a way to its eradication. Business. The Buddha quite correctly understood that everyone could not become an ascetic. Everyone could not live household life and devote his full time to make an end to suffering. Therefore, he preached Dhamma to those who wanted to live a mundane life, to make it a happier one. He realized that wealth is an essential thing among others to a layman to live a happy life. The Buddha had specific advice for investing the wealth a person has gained. Economic decisions about production, consumption, and distribution are made by people in their struggle to survive and prosper. For the most part, these decisions are motivated by an emotional urge for self-preservation. Throughout the Pali Canon, we have teachings about the four requisites: food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. The money matters are also being emphasized in some suttas, and importance of wealth and how it should be earned are also mentioned. Buddha also explains the ways of losing wealth, the ways to multiply wealth, and the happiness and joy one experiences when one is free from debt. The concept of wealth. We have in Pali, we have Aya hi labhupani, Aya nibbana gamini, evam etang abhiyaya bhikkhu buddhassa savako, sakkaram abhinandeya, na abhinandeya, vivekam anubruhaye. What does it mean? It means one is the road that leads to wealth, another road that leads to nibbana. If a monk, disciple of the Buddha, has learned this, he will yearn not for honor, but will foster solitude. For monks in Buddhist traditions, the accumulation of personal wealth is discouraged or forbidden. For lay people, however, honestly acquired wealth is advised. Monks live in voluntary poverty. They undertake the rule of training to refrain from handling gold and silver, that is, handling money. The Buddha advised a lay person to divide his wealth in 4 parts, using 1 part to live on, putting 2 parts to work, and saving 1 part for times of need. These values were consistent with the ethics of the rising merchant class of the Buddha's time. Now, next is how the Buddha describes the wealth worthy of the householder. The Buddha describes wealth worthy of the householder's protection as being Uthana Virya Adhigata, Bahabala Parichita, Seda Vakhita, Dhammika Dhammalatha, Te Arakhena Guttiya Sampadeti. Wealth acquired by energetic striving, amassed by the strength of his arms, earned by the sweat of his brow, righteous wealth righteously gained. Okay? Righteous wealth righteously gained. Digajanu says to Buddha the following. There is one person, Digajanu, he says to the Buddha, Mayang bhante, gi kamapugi, putta sambada sayanam, ajhavasama, kasi kachadanam, pattanubhoma, mala gandha vilepanam, dharayama, jata rupa rajatam sadhiyama, tesam no bhante, bhagava तथा धम्मं देसेतु ये अम्हाकं अस्सु धम्मा दिट्ठ धम्मा हिताय दिट्ठ धम्म सुखाय संपराय हिताय संपराय सुखायाति. It's in the Anguttara Nikaya. What does it mean? We are lay people enjoying sensuality, living crowded with spouses and children, using kasi fabric and sandalwood, wearing garlands, scents, and creams, handling gold and silver. May the Enlightened One teach the Dhamma for those like us, for our happiness and well-being in this life and in lives to come. Also, when the layman Anathapindika come to visit the Buddha, as he sat on one side, the Buddha told him that a person should hope for wealth acquired by lawful means. This is the advice for the householder, that one should earn wealth, but by lawful means. Now, professions to be avoided to earn wealth. Okay, professions which are to be avoided to earn wealth. First is dealing in weapons. It is Sattha Vanijja. Dealing in living beings, slave trade and prostitution. It is Satta Vanijja. Working in meat production and butchery, Mamsa Vanijja. Selling intoxicants and poisons such as alcohol and drugs, Majja Vanijja. Further, any other occupation that could violate the principles of right speech and right action should be avoided. There are suggested professions to earn wealth. That is Kasi, that is agriculture, Vanijja, that is trading, Gorakha, that is rearing animals, but not for slaughter, Isatha, security service, Rajaporisa, service to the king or government service. Channels by which wealth flows away from you, channels by which wealth flows to you. These are the channels by which wealth flows to you. First is hardworking, that is called as Utthana Sampada, being skilled and diligent in one's livelihood, tireless in performing one's own work. Second is vigilance, that is Arakha Sampada, protecting one's wealth from theft and disaster. Okay, we get the references in the Sutta, Kula Sutta, Digajana Sutta, Takanipata. Then we have virtuous friendship, that is Kalyana Mittata, associating with those embodying faith, virtue, generosity, and wisdom. Then balanced living, Samajivikata. What does it mean? Abstaining from womanizing, drunkenness, gambling, and evil friendships. Jinnam Pati Sankharoti, to repair what has already been damaged. Then Parimita Pana Bhojana Hunti, one must consume wealth conservatively without exceeding income. Silavantam ithim va purisam va adhipache thapenti. The leader of the house must be replete with moral conducts and ethics. Okay, the leader of the house must be replete with moral conducts and ethics. In the two-eyed sutta, Buddha says, a two-eyed person has both the eye to acquire wealth, acquire the wealth unattained, and the eye to make the wealth he has increased, and the eye to see the importance of spiritual practice. Next is channels by which wealth flows away from you. Channels by which wealth flows away from you. That is promiscuous sex, debauchery and drinking, cheating and playing false with your friends, friendship with evildoers, if the head of the family is immoral and not of good conduct. Then Buddha says, a blind person does not have the eye to acquire wealth or to make the wealth he has, to increase. He does not have the eye to distinguish states that are good and bad, to see states that are blameworthy and praiseworthy, states resembling light and darkness. In other words, this person cannot cultivate wealth and does not bother to cultivate wisdom and virtues like charity. In this case, blind means the one who is mentally blind. Okay. Adinna dana, kame sumechachara, musavada. These also leads to loss of wealth. If we don't follow these precepts, this also leads to loss of wealth. Then we have ways of wasting wealth. What are the ways of wasting wealth? Alcoholism and drug abuse is a waste of money. It makes you quarrelsome. It weakens your constitution, ruins your reputation, causes you to behave indecently, and weakens your mind. When you are in the streets at the wrong time, You put yourself in physical danger. You put your family in danger. You put your property at risk. This is given in the suttas. When you spend time at fairs or theatrical shows, you become distracted by it. There are 6 dangers associated with gambling. People hate the winner, the loser moans and cries, the gambler wastes his wealth, his word is not taken seriously in the court of law, his friends do not respect him, and he is not considered a good marriage prospect because a gambler cannot support a family. If you get used to idleness, you will always be able to find an excuse for not working. It is too hot, or it is too cold, it is too early, or it is too late, you are too hungry, or you are too full. If you live this way, you will not perform your duties. You will not get any new wealth, and the wealth you have will be lost. Benefits to be obtained from wealth. Mata pitaro sukheti, putta dara das kammakar porise sukheti, mitta mache sukheti, ineti apada gitova udakatova ratova apadasu, bhogehi pariyodhaya vattati, sothi attanam karoti ayam tatiyo. Okay. He provides his mother and father with pleasure and satisfaction and maintains that pleasure rightly. He provides his children, his wife, his slaves, servants, and assistants with pleasure and satisfaction and maintains that pleasure rightly. This is the first benefit that can be obtained from wealth. Provides his friends and associates with pleasure and satisfaction and maintains that pleasure rightly. This is the second benefit that can be obtained from wealth. Wards off from calamities coming from fire, flood, kings, thieves, or hateful hires and keeps himself safe. This is the third benefit that can be obtained from wealth. Performs the 5 oblations to relative, guest, the dead, the kings. This is the fourth benefit that can be obtained from wealth. Institutes offering of supreme aim, resulting in happiness, and contemplatives who abstain from intoxication and heedlessness, who endure all things with patience and humility, each taming himself, each restraining himself, each taking himself to unbinding. This is the fifth benefit that can be obtained from wealth. Now, what is true wealth? The wealth I have put forth is with respect to mundane life as given in the suttas. But the real wealth, real treasure is said in the following sutta. Saddha dhanam, sila dhanam, suta dhanam, jaga dhanam, panya dhanam. Dhana is wealth. Okay. So, Saddha in the Dana Sutta, the Buddha explains the true treasures. The treasure of faith, Saddha dhanam, the treasure of virtue, sila dhanam, the treasure of learning and of charity, Suta dhanam, Chaga dhanam, the treasure of insight, Panya dhanam. Tasmahi panyava dhanena seyo, yaya vosana mittha adigachati. Wherefore greater than wealth is wisdom by which one here secures accomplishment. Okay. So what are the observations made? The following observations are made. The Buddha quite correctly understood that everyone could not become an ascetic and says that a person should hope for wealth acquired by lawful means. We also understand from the above references that professions to be avoided to earn wealth, suggested professions to earn wealth, channels by which wealth flows to us, channels by which wealth flows away from us. Kamma, our actions are responsible for loss of wealth, ways of wasting wealth, benefits to be obtained from wealth, and what is true wealth. It also mentions that if one gets used to idleness, one will always be able to find an excuse for not working. It also clarifies that alcoholism and drug abuse is a waste of money, and that the leader of the house must be replete with moral conduct and ethics. So this was regarding the wealth. Next is regarding the concept of investment. So when it comes to investing matters of money, one might think, has the Buddha given any solution to this material aspect? How can the Buddha give advice on this matter? Because many feel teachings of the Buddha is about escapism from worldly into the ascetic realm of bliss, become a monk. So how can Buddha advise on these investing matters? The Buddha has always given a solution to the social problem. When one makes an effort to read and understand the teachings of the Buddha, one understands that along with the deep mind and spiritual development towards the path of Nibbana, the Buddha has also explained the worth of a householder and his duties. The matters related to the household life are given importance in the teachings, as everybody cannot renounce the worldly life and become a monk. The money matters are of prime concern when it comes to the household life. People earn money as per their capacity. Some earn by ethical means, some don't. One has to earn money by right livelihood, which is one of the eightfold path. We must admit that emotional factors, fear and desire are the irrationality they generate, have a powerful influence on our investment patterns. When one reads the Kesamurti by the Buddha to the Kalamas, one can extract the meaning from it, which is applicable even to the today's market scenario, and the thought process one should have for invest in the highly unpredictable and volatile scripts in the stock market. A genuine approach highlights the important matter related to investing pattern and thought process can be derived. Ignorance is bliss, but when it comes to investing, ignorance about the market and investment decisions can drain out whole money, leaving behind the zeroing of the investor. So investing is a zero-sum game. For every winner, there is a loser. The Buddha says, you only lose what you cling to. Two of the main selling strategies of investment firms is utilizing the powerful emotions of fear and greed. Fear is utilized by selling people on the fact that diversification is the best risk-reward setup for your client, for you, the client. In reality, diversification is the lowest common denominator strategy that allows all firm consultants to allocate your money in the least amount of time to produce mediocre returns, just good enough so you won't leave, but yet free up most of time of the consultants to gather more assets for the firm. In the Pali text, we come across the sutta which states, Eta tumhe kalama manusavena ma paramparaya ma itikaraya ma pitaka sampadane ma takka hetu ma naya hetu ma akara parivitakkena ma dikkhe nichana khantiya ma bhabbarupataya ma samano no garuti. What does it mean? Don't go by reports, by legends, by traditions, by scripture, by logical conjecture, by inference, by analogies, by agreement through pondering views, by probability, or by the thought. Then, managing the personal finance. The Buddha explains about how to divide the money one has earned, in how many parts it can be divided, and how much amount can be kept aside for investment. The Buddha had specific advice for investing the wealth a person has gained. He should divide his wealth in 4 parts. Evam bhoge samahatva alamatto kule gihi chatudha vibhaje bhoge save mittani ganthati ekena bhoge bhunjeya dvihi kammang payojaye chatuthancha nidhapeya apadasu bhavisati. Using 1 part to live on, putting 2 parts to work, and saving one part for times of need. This is how it is being advised. Now, how an investor should be. The Buddha says that there are three types of people. Tayo me bhikkhave puggala santo samvijjamana lokasmin. Which three types? The blind, andho, the one-eyed, ekachakku, the two-eyed, dvichakku. Okay. A blind person does not have the eye to acquire wealth. Anadigatam va bhogam adhigacheya. Or to make the wealth he has increase, to increase. He does not have the eye to distinguish states that are good and bad. Kusala kusale dhamme. To see states that are blameworthy and praiseworthy. Savajja anavajje dhamme. States mean and exalted. States resembling light and darkness. Kanna sukha appati bhage dhamme. In other words, this person cannot cultivate wealth and does not bother to cultivate wisdom and virtues like charity. A one-eyed person has the eye to acquire wealth. Anadigatam va bhogam adhigacheya. But not the eye to see states that are good and bad. Na hoti yatha rupena chakkuna kusala kusale dhamme janeya. Cultivating wealth but not wisdom or virtue. You get the references from Sigalovada Sutta, Digha Nikaya, Anguttara Nikaya, Tika Nipata Pali, and the Sutta. The two person has both the eye to acquire wealth unattained and the eye to make the wealth he has increase, and the eye to see the importance of spiritual practice. Dvichakku pana akkhato setho purisa puggalo dhamma ladhehi bhogehi uttanadikam dhanam. Avoid the blind and the one-eyed and associate with the two-eyed. Dvichakkum pana sevetha settham purisa puggalam. The Buddha suggests that if we wish to avoid future suffering, we try to associate with people who are skillful in making money and skillful at giving it away. Such people may be the best mentor for a person's career and spiritual. Then we have moderation and risk assessment. Matayuta. Okay. Matayuta. The word in Pali Tipitaka in Puggala Panyati is one of the texts, can be taken as the defining characteristic related to money matters of investment. Matayuta is knowing moderation. What is Matayuta? Matayuta is knowing moderation. Means knowing the optimum amount, how much is just right. Buddhist monks and nuns traditionally reflect on moderation, Mattayuta. Before each meal, Bhojane Mattayu, by reciting this reflection, wisely reflecting, we take alms food not for the purpose of fun, not for indulgence or the fascination of taste, but simply for the maintenance of the body. Kayasya thitiya yapanaya, for the continuance of existence, for the cessation of painful feeling, Vedanam na upadesami, for living the higher life. Through this eating, we subdue old painful feelings of hunger and prevent new painful feelings of overeating from arising. Thus do we live unhindered, blameless, and in comfort. So this is the concept which is very important, Mattayuta. What are the observations from this paragraph? The Buddha says, the Buddha has always given a social solution to the social problem. The Buddha says you only lose what you cling to. Two of the main selling strategies investment firms is utilizing is the powerful emotions of fear and greed. Fear is utilized by selling people on the fact that diversification is the best risk-reward setup. The Buddha had specific advice for investing the wealth when a person has gained. He should divide his wealth in 4 parts. The concept of moderation is the most concept when we think of wealth and investment. Okay. So here I end my presentation. If you have any queries, we can have a discussion. Thank you. Yes, you can unmute and ask your question.
Yes, those of you have your questions, please raise your hand and we'll call you one by one. And please keep your questions short so that everybody gets a chance to ask them. Satyanath, please unmute yourself and then go ahead with your question. Thank you.
Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya, and thank you so much for such a wonderful presentation. Unless you have this paper, it's so wonderful. I think it could be published in many journals or something. But if you could share it with us, like in PDF form in the group, so we can print it and study it. That would be fantastic. Unless you're keeping it for some publication or something, but it's really, really very worth listening, worth reading and thinking about it. And I thank you so much for beautiful way you presented the whole thing. And I can't praise you more. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Satyanath, for such a beautiful comment. And now I invite Ravi Kiran for asking your question.
Thank you. Thank you, Tayade Madam Ji, for such a wonderful session. It was very informative. I had never come across this topic, like how to manage your wealth as suggested by Buddha. The small question I have is, you mentioned about Buddha talking about splitting the wealth into 4 parts, 25% being in the emergency, 25% to live on, and the 50% to work on. So I just wanted you to elaborate what does to work on mean, and if you can shed some more light. Thank you.
Yes. See, this discourse, this teaching we find in the Sigalo Vada Sutta, and Sigala is a young person. So the advice given is Evam bhoge samahatva alamatto kulegihi. Evam is thus. Evam is thus. Bhoge. Bhoge means the accumulations. Samahatva means collected. Alamatto kulegihi. Kule means belonging to a particular clan. Gihi, the householder. Chatudha vibhaje. Chatudha means fourfold. Vibhaje is to divide. Bhoge, that which he has. Save mittani ganthati. Ekena bhoge bhunjeya. Dvihi kammam payojaye. Chatuthancha nidhapeya apadasu bhavisati. Apada means apada su bhavishyati. Apada means if there is some times of need, when there is some issue, when there is some problem, we have to save some part of our money, which we always do, some part of our money, which we must to save one part for times of need, right? So if I have 100 rupees, how should I save the 100? How should I divide this 100 rupees? So first is what? Using one part to live on. Means I should have 25 rupees daily with me. If I have 100 rupees, I am earning 100 rupees. Then out of that 100 rupees, I should have 25 rupees in my pocket always for my daily expenses to live on. If I go out, then I should have some cash with me, but it should be 25 rupees and I should work on it. Okay. Second is putting two parts to work. Putting two parts to work means it comes to about 50%. So putting two parts to work. So dvihi kammam payojaye. So two parts. So means 25 and 25. Out of that 125% you can have as a fixed income, which you can put it in one basket, which you should not touch. Okay, it can multiply. And another part, another 25 rupees, you can put in some business where it will multiply, right? Where it can multiply. So you have to put two parts of your money in such a place where it can multiply. Okay, so you can think of it as per the available scripts which are available for you, or the investment culture, investment pattern which you have. You can invest in that so that it can multiply. Because if you keep the money only at one place, right? Suppose if you have bank account, all the money in the bank account, so it won't have any value after some time. But if you put it in for investment, so such bracket can be of two parts. And in that also, one part can be for fixed things, where you can think of it on a long term, and some part you can invest where it can multiply, right? So this section works as a part of business, as investment. And saving one part for times of need. So 25 rupees out of that always should be kept for times of need, for emergency. So whatever I earn 100 rupees, but I should utilize only 25% daily. You should not spend your money completely, right? I have money, then you should not become empty of the money, because that is what Buddha advises. Because see, we are householders, and for householders, what is the advice? Advice is that if you are a householder, you have to earn money, because that is your primary duty. If you don't earn, how will you support the Sangha, right? If you don't earn, and if you have no idea how to manage your own earned money, right? And how can you support the Sangha? How can you support other people, right? Is it okay? Have I answered your question?
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am, for answering the question. And now we have a question from Dr. Sanjay. How to make awareness about Pali studies and make it more simpler?
How to make awareness about Pali studies
Yes,
and make it more simpler.
that's right.
Okay. See, to begin with Pali studies, I think the initiative which your organization has taken, this is the beginning of that, your beginning, which question you have asked, like learning some aspects of the Pali literature in every week, right? But if you want to study Pali, the first thing is join any institution where there is Pali studies going on. That is the first step to take admission in some basic course, a certificate course or a diploma course like this. And one more option is, which you all are already doing, that being in touch with the Sangha members. Being in touch with the Sangha members, with the monks, bhikkhunis, bhikkhus, who can share their lectures, share their experiences with you. And you can arrange guest lectures the way you all are doing already. So this is the first step towards getting acquainted with what exactly the Pali is, what literature is there in Pali, basic information. But if you want to study this Pali, if you want to study language, study the literature which is there in the language, you can have some, to begin with, I say, you can take some books which are, I can suggest you some, like there is a Pali Primer and Key to Pali Primer by Lily De Silva. Pali Primer and Key to Pali Primer by Lily De Silva. In that book, you have small, short sentences, Pali sentences, which you can practice on your own, because that Pali book which is there, Pali Primer, it is a self-study book which you can do, because you have Pali, and in Key to Pali Primer, you have the key where you have all the answers also. So you will have basic ABCD, A, E, U, U. When we say if someone's name is, like for example, Sushma, right? But in Pali, you cannot say Sushma because there is no sh in Pali. So we will say Susama, right? Pali, there is no sh and no sh. So Ashoka, we don't say Ashoka, we say Asoka. So Ranyo Asoko, Ranyo Asoko, Emperor Ashoka. So in Pali we say Asoka. Like Vaishali, we don't have sh, so Vesali, Asoka. So these are basic ideas, basic things which you can study from that book. And then if you wish, you can take admission in some courses where there are some online courses, and then you can start studying. Also, you can do one thing. There are books which are available online also, right? Some links which are available online. You can read some books on your own. You can begin. Don't wait for admissions. That when you will get admission, you will start studying. But there are a lot of material available online, okay, and that you can make use of to study. You can start reading suttas. So there are links which are available. You can start reading Dhammapada, you can start reading Jatakas to get the basic essence of what is there in the literature, right? Okay, so have I answered? It's okay.
I think you covered that question, ma'am. That's a beautiful explanation.
Okay.
Now we have
Thank you very
Nalini.
much.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thank you very much for nice explanation.
Thank you. Now we have a question from Nalini Bagol. Nalini, please unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. First of all, what an excellent presentation. Thank you for sharing that information about the investment. Never came across this. I know we have always seen these three parts, about 25% investment and as such, but it was such a detail. I know you mentioned different suttas, that this the information that we can find in different suttas. Is it possible? Like what would be the other reference books that you can provide? The list of, like Anguttara Nikaya, Digha Nikaya, you did mention.
Yes. You can read Sigalovada Sutta from Digha Nikaya. You can read Anguttara Nikaya. You can also read Sutta Nipata, Uragavagga. Right? There are many suttas. You can read Dhana Sutta, Dana Sutta, Dvichakhu Sutta,
Okay.
Andha Sutta,
Yeah.
Digayanu
See this.
Sutta.
Yeah,
There
I
are
was
many
not aware
suttas.
of this. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes. Yeah, there are
I'm
many
so
suttas.
glad. Yes.
Yes, because when we read the literature, when we read Pali literature, we find that is the pedagogical style of the Buddha, which we see in the literature. Right, Buddha is giving advice to not only to the monks, not only to the bhikkhunis, bhikkhus, but also to the upasakas and upasikas, also to the lay disciples. So we have to derive the information from that, those suttas. That Buddha is going to some place for giving the Dhamma Discourse, and then he is answering accordingly. So we can, from different suttas, we can take this information. So there are many. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes.
Once again,
Yes,
we
you
will look
can.
forward to
Yeah.
listen to you again.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Nalini. And I would like to ask Vivek to unmute and proceed with your question.
Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya.
Jai Bhim,
Trupti
Jai
ma'am,
Bhim.
it's a wonderful presentation, and sometimes it directly connects to my own way of earning the money. So I have a question. What is rightful earning in the businesses? Like when we are looking at all businesses expect, the profit and losses, right? And the profit is one of the biggest component to operate the business. And in the process of doing so, there are some errors that people do, which I'm not different in that context. But keeping the 5 precepts, one of this, the rightful earning, what I can take and what I cannot, while maintaining my morality. Can you explain on what is the rightful earning in the businesses?
Right way of earning.
Mm-hmm.
Right way of earning, right?
Yes.
See, now I am a householder. Okay, I am a householder, and I have to earn money. So what I do, I do something to earn money. Okay, because if I don't do anything, I won't get money. So to earn money, I do something. Now that something can be either kusala or akusala. It can be good or it can be bad, right? So there are good ways of earning money and there are bad ways of earning money. So bad ways of earning money is what? Stealing, right? Doing wrong things and earning money, right? And good way of earning money is doing good things and earning money. These are two things. Now, when I earn money, for example, suppose if I have my own business and I'm earning money. Now, I want this money to grow, I want this money to grow, I want this money to grow, because now it is 100, I want to make it 1,000, now this 1,000, I want to make it 10,000, this 10,000, I want to make it 1 lakh, now this 1 lakh, I want to make it 1 crore, this 1 crore, I want to make it 10 crores. Okay. What is happening in this case, right? In this case, there is tanha, right? Which we call tanha. In the literature, it is called as tanha, that is craving. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm craving and craving and craving and craving and craving. Craving for what? More and more money, more and more money, more and money, more and more. Okay, so there is this unskillful desire. There is desire, but there is this unskillful desire which is working. And in this case, what is happening? If I want to earn money and I want to make it 100 to thousands to lakhs to crores to 10 crores, in this case, I have one target to make it 10 crore. And to make it 10 crore, I will do anything. I will do anything to make it 10 crores. So in that anything, one can take even the wrong way because there is craving now. Okay. And what Buddha says for craving, that it can never get fulfilled. It is like if you are being given, or if we are being given 2 big mountains of gold. You know, mountains, big mountains, 2 big mountains of gold. Even if we have 2 big mountains of gold, our craving will not stop. Right? So that is the nature of craving. So when I do my business, I have to think whether I should work in this direction of craving, tanha. If you have tanha, and if you are working and taking any wrong ways to fulfill your business duties and to earn money, right? So this is wrong. Then there is a question. Then shouldn't we think of growing? Shouldn't we think of making more money? Because if we think of making more money, then it is craving. Then shouldn't we think of it? See, we confused, as lay people, we confuse between 2 things. One is tanha, which is craving, and another is chanda. Chanda is wishful desire, is willingness to do. There are 2 aspects. One is tanha and one is chanda. Tanha is craving, which is unskillful desire, and chanda is willingness to do, a wish to do, which is a skillful desire. So when we do business, or when we earn money, or when we are on the path to earn money and make more money, we should have chanda, not the tanha. If there is tanha, then it won't last for a long time. And in that process, a person can end up doing wrong things. But if there is a chanda, if there is willingness to do, if there is wish to do, right? If that is chanda, then your interest will be first, right? You want to grow your business in a positive way, and money will be a byproduct of that. Okay, money will be the byproduct of your work. Money won't be the ultimate aim, but it will be the byproduct of your work which you do. So we have to be very clear about this tanha, which is a craving and which is an unskillful desire, and chanda, which is a skillful desire. So Buddha advises that you earn money. Buddha never says that you don't earn money and you don't think of making money, but it has to be chanda, right? A skillful desire, a wish, a willingness to do. Okay? And we should, when we do our business, we should always consider matanyuta. Matanyuta is what? Moderation. Knowing optimum amount, how much is just right. We should know the optimum amount, that what is my lower limit and what is my upper limit. And our lower limit should always be fixed, right? Our lower limit should always be fixed. At least this much. I can survive at least on this much. I can survive at least on this much, at least on this much. So moderation is very important. See, for example, when I eat food, if I like that food very much, if I like that food, it's very tasty, very delicious, very delicious. And if I just eat it continuously, continue for 1 hour, I'm eating. After some time, what happened? My stomach will reject the unnecessary food and it will only take the one that is required, and the rest will be thrown out, and it will lead to diseases. It will lead to indigestion. So that is how this also works. Okay. So there are many aspects, but to begin with, we need to focus on the concepts of matanyuta. You should know how much is just right. Right? And we should focus on the chanda aspect. That is a good wish to do, willingness to do, right? A skillful desire, which you can say.
Thank you, madam, for the detailed explanation. And I think I like the way you explained it. And the other question comes, I know this is like you explained pretty well in your detailed explanation. Just I had just the curiosity, like, in businesses, the negotiation, the offerings, and the dealings goes on. What is appropriate way of offering? Like say example, like I want to get some contract. So I have meetings with the people, the supervise, the businesses, and so on. And the offerings is made by me, example, to obtain. And this is the example. Not that I do it, but I'm just asking, if that something happens to me that I have to offer someone, what is acceptable form of offering to obtain certain businesses or certain contracts?
Offerings in the sense I did not understand.
Offering meaning like, I'm buying some gifts, example, okay, or I'm buying big lunches to get contracts, and I think, is it a rightful earning, to obtain? I'm like, am I offering a bribe in the process by giving some meals or giving some gifts, to get some contract? Not that I do, I'm just asking in general, because this is what happens in most part of the businesses. So I just the curiosity, that I have.
Yes, see, bribe giving is always wrong. Okay, bribe is always wrong, because when you give bribe, you have one intention, that first of all, it is unethical, that we all know. So we cannot justify the unethical things. If it is unethical, it is unethical. If it is wrong, it is wrong, right? So there are also these references in the literature also, that a person was giving bribe to someone. And then what happens whenever we do something wrong? Bribe is also one of that. What we are doing in that case, we are doing some unwholesome accumulations within our own area, within our own domain of our mind and body. So we should avoid giving bribes. And there are so we have this, what in the literature, we have this actions and the results, kamma and vipaka, it is there. So if we do something wrong, then definitely there are the results which we have to bear. Okay. So avoid doing it, that's what I say. But when you're in this areas of business, everything can be, we can't say that 100% it can be avoided, but it is up to us. So again, how much you need? How much I need? How much I need? That should be the question which we should ask for our own self, right? How much I need? Do I need this much, this much? Because again, it is like in the beginning, it is being said, 2 mountains of the Pabbatasya Suvarnasya. Okay, let me come again back to the first slide. See, desires cannot be satisfied by shower of money. How much ever money is there showering on your head, even if we are lifted and immersed inside the pool of money, we will never be satisfied, because that is how the greed is, right? And it is just like a net of ignore, it is just like a net, right? So craving is like a river. And Pabbatasya Suvarnasya Jata Rupasya Kevalu Dvitavana Alamekasya Iti Vidva Samanchare. A mountain made of gold, twice of that would not be sufficient to content a single individual. Knowing this, live in accordance. The Buddha said that even if one could magically transform one single mountain into 2 mountains of solid gold, it would still not provide complete and lasting satisfaction to one person. So we have to, it is our own conscience which can play a role, right? And if we do wrong, then we should be ready even for its resultants. Okay, if I do something wrong, then I should be ready for the results. And when the results come in front of me, I should not be afraid to face it. So we have to do it at our own risk and at our own cost. That is what is there. Because what Buddha says in the literature is, Tume hi kicham atapang akkhataro tathagata. Right? Buddha says you have to work on your own. You have to work for your own liberation. Tathagata only shows the way. Akkhataro tathagata. Right? Buddha only shows the way, that I have walked through this way. You also walk through this way and you will attain the same state. Okay, so ultimately, we have to do it at our own risk, and we cannot justify the wrongdoing. Wrong is wrong. We cannot justify the wrongdoing, right? Bribe is wrong, then bribe is wrong. We cannot make it this percentage bribe, okay, this percentage bribe. No, even if there is some bribe, that conditioning is already being done on the surface of your mind, right? We have a mind, first of all, and there is coding which take place in the mind. Right? In computer, we have some language, right? In the computers, which we have the coding is done 1000001 100001110. This is the language. So here in our mind also there is coding which is done. So when we do wrong, already the coding is done. We cannot justify it, right? So we have to think that this greed is never ending, and how long can I do this? And bribe is said to be wrong aspect in the literature. There is one example which gives it. I hope I have answered your question. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Vivek. And I would like to call upon Kalpana to ask her question. And if anybody else has, please be ready.
Hello, ma'am. Thanks for this
Hello.
informative session.
Yes.
Are you able to hear me? Yeah. Thanks
Yes.
for this informative session.
Yes.
My question is like, even though we have a livelihood, you have very mindful about your earnings. You are mindful about your dana. But still, like in current scenario, like how inflation, you earn, you work hard and hard. I know it's not enough money every time. Yeah, you earn how much you want to, but it is never be satisfied. But how do you cope up with this inflation? Like it hurts so hard as for the normal person. So how do you come with that kind of stress, the inflation, then meeting all needs and wants, like even though, but how do you, because you come up working hard so much, and it leads to stress. So how do you come with
Yes,
this?
yes.
So inflation. So whenever I come, I go, oh, this inflation is causing me so hard. So how do you come up with that?
See, for this, there are two basic emotions of human mind. That is fear. One is fear and one is greed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are the two basic emotions on which the market runs. All the financial markets, even the stock market, it's the fear and greed on which these two emotions, the strong emotion of human beings, are being encashed, right? So, for example, suppose I go to supermarket. Suppose I go to supermarket and then I see so many things which are being displayed. And even if I need or I don't need, even if I don't need, if I need, first of all, if I need one bag, I won't take one bag, but I will take 4 bags. If I have that one container, for example, some food item of one container, one food item. If I need one, I won't take one, I will take 4, right? And when I take a survey of the entire, when I go around the entire supermarket, then I see, oh, there are these different things also. But at that time, or maybe for a month or 2, you don't need that. But still you go and still you purchase. Okay. So and who are governing this market? Right? See, people out there, they will throw so many things in front of us. They will throw so many products in front of us. And then what we have in our mind that if I go to supermarket, then I have to empty my pocket. I have to purchase something. But I think we have this food, clothing, shelter, and medicine. These are the parikkara which are there in the literature which we find for bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. So how much is necessary for me? How much is necessary for me? So when we have control over our own fear, when we have control over our own greed, only then to some extent we can have a control on this, because as an individual leads to one family, a family leads to one society, a society leads to one state, one area to one state, multiple states become one nation, many nations to become whole world. So the change should start from within. Okay, that change has to start from within. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for to bear or to face these situations in the near future. Okay, so that's what right now I would like to say that much on this, because these are the 2 basic emotions which are responsible for that state of inflation which you are talking about.
Thank you, Trupti ma'am, and I think
that's very right that criticism, if it has to be a healthy criticism, right? If we want to criticize some other religions, or if we want to criticize some teachings belonging to other religions, then we should have some, it has to be healthy criticism. Blaming each other and saying something which can lead to fight, which can spoil the entire atmosphere of a state, of a nation, that can never be the right way. And it is applicable to all the religions, whether that religion is Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, or Muslims, any way. So this is a very big issue and a very big topic altogether, but your concerns are very right and worth taking a note of it. Thank you. Thank you for that concern. I appreciate your concerns.
thank you, Trupti ma'am. Now I would like to invite Chatak Dakane for your question, and please try to keep it short.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear
Yes.
you.
So thank you. It was a very informative session. And after a very serious question, I would like to come back to the topic. So Tayade ji, you spoke about fear and greed that drives the market. But what do you suggest for an investor, or what are the guidelines from Buddha to avoid the fear and greed mentality, to keep the rational mind?
Yes. See, again, I will come back to one word, which is mattayuta, that is moderation and knowing what is just right for me. Okay, what is just right and moderation. Moderation, mattayuta is a concept where we can develop it, right? We can cultivate it. It is a matter of cultivation. That is what the Buddha says. We should know what is just right. And why we do all these things? Why we do all these things? We do it because we are in search of some happiness, some sukha, right? Where we are in search of some sukha, that is pleasure, which we have the notion of sukha. If I get this, I will be happy. If I get this, I will be happy. If I get this, I will be happy. Okay, so we are running after some sukha. That is what the Buddha says. We are running after some sukha. But in that process, we don't understand that sukha and dukkha are relative. Sukha and dukkha, both are relative terms. They are on the same scale. Right? What is sukha? Sukha is less dukkha. It doesn't mean it is devoid of dukkha. Right? Sukha is what? Less dukkha. And what is dukkha? Dukkha is less sukha. So these are relative terms. Right? So, but in the process of jhanas, in the state of, in the meditative stages, there is also sukha. That sukha is different. And in the material world, which we think of sukha, that sukha is different. Right? So, moderation and knowing what is just right, that I need to understand for my own self, my own pattern of investing. Right? We have to invest, but it should not be with the unskillful state of mind, that is the tanha, but it has to be with the skillful state of mind, that is the chanda, a willingness, a wishful desire, right? A willingness to do. So we have to classify between these two. And it is a matter of, again, practice. And in that practice, we have to understand that whether I am doing wrong, if I am doing wrong something just for the sake of some minor benefit, just for the sake of some profit of say 1 lakh or 2 lakh, 10 lakh, 1 crore, just for the sake of that profit, if I am doing something wrong, then that is definitely wrong. Our mind gives us the answer, right? So that's what I can say at present.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
I
you.
invite Pankaj Mishram
Yes.
to unmute and ask a question.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sushma, for giving me the opportunity. And thank you, Tayade ma'am, for very insightful, knowledgeable session. I have a couple of questions and comment. My comment is that we are comparing how other religious organization or other religions and their sort of stakeholders that conduct that religious activities for them to act as if it's like a benefit center or something like that. In Buddhist concept, however, the bhikkhus are not being bhikkhus just to kind of conduct that service to the society. I mean, even Baba Sahib expects bhikkhu to be a servant to the society, not in that sense like they would act as a collection center. They are trying to get rid of their own lobha dosa moha and try to attain the path as soon as possible, right? So in line with that thinking, what do you think that these ideas that you presented today, these are mostly for us as a upasak upasika society and not for like bhikkhu sangha? If we need to kind of have other charitable things to be done as part of a Buddhist society to say, then we need to do that as upasak and upasikas and not expect bhikkhu sangha to do that. Please comment on this. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, a very I think a question in continuation to our just earlier discussion, right? Regarding this question, what I would like to say is, see, as per the tradition, even monks are not allowed to keep money with them. Okay, and this we have to understand, because that is what is given in the literature. And if a person is a bhikkhu, if he is a monk or a bhikkhuni or a nun, then they are not supposed to keep money with them. This is the first thing. Now, second aspect is when how to manage this money. For example, how to manage the vihara. Now, when we have one vihara, see, the monk and nuns can be there in the vihara. They have to be there in the vihara, but their duties are different. Their duty is not to look after the monetary aspect of the vihara. If there are some funds or if there are some donations which are coming in the vihara, if I wish to offer something, some donation to the vihara, then there has to be a team of some upasakas, right? Some upasakas, some lay disciple who are maybe the trustee of that vihara, or they are in touch with that vihara, who are holding some positions in the vihara. One should take the responsibility of looking after the finances of that vihara. But that is not the duty of the monk, that is not the duty of the bhikkhu. If there are some donations which are coming in the vihara, I think donations can be accepted, but the account of those donations should be done by a lay disciple. Okay, that is what. But monks should not be made into this duties, because it is not their duty, right, to take money, because keeping money is already been prohibited. For monks, it is not advised that you take money, you accumulate money, you keep money, you keep the record. No. In the vihara, monks can be there to give the discourses, to maintain the vihara, right? And the householders, the lay disciples attached with that vihara, can take the responsibility of maintaining the finances and its inflow and outflow of the finances. That's what I can say right now for this. And when we see the monks, there are different, when we see the bhikkhus nowadays, when we see there are different types of monks. Some monks, they are forest monks. Forest monks are the one who stay in deep forest. Okay, who stay in deep forest, who hardly come in contact with lay people, hardly come in contact with the villagers. In fact, the villagers come, they carry food and they keep outside the vihara and go, right? They offer food and they leave. Okay, but there are these forest monks, they hardly come in contact with the outside world, wherein they are sitting at one place, they are strictly meditating, strongly meditating, attaining the higher stages. This is one section of the bhikkhus, which is still there, which we call the forest monks. Second type of monks are the one who are doing charika. Who are doing charika means they go from one place to another place, stay in that vihara for 3-4 months, they again leave that vihara, they go to another place, again stay in that vihara for some months. So they are doing charika, means they are going from one place to another place, right? Some are staying in the monastery, right? Some are monastics, like they stay in the monastery, do their regular duties, meditate, do all the work, cleaning work, everything in the vihara, look after the vihara. And other type of monks who are academicians, right? Who are academicians. Like in our university, we have students like monks and nuns who come from different parts of world, means different countries. Like we have Vietnam, Burma, Sri Lanka, like different countries. There are monks. Okay. So when they come here, they are being given scholarships. So in that case, they have to keep that money with them, because now they are in the role of academicians, right? They are in academics, they are students, but still they have to live their life in moderation. They have their own gadgets, they have mobile, they have their scooter, because campus is so big, they cannot walk every day. They have scooter, they have they cook their own food, because now they are in an academic setup. So like this, so there are forest monks also and there are academic monks also. But if one monk is in the vihara, then there are upasakas to take care of the finances, right? I hope I have to some extent tried to clear doubts. I think this is again a very long big question where we can meet and come up with a good solution to this.
But
Thank you.
still, that's a lot of informative, ma'am. Thanks very much. There's one other question in the chat. For investing in stocks and bonds, one may be asked what kind of portfolio would he or she like? Aggressive but yet risky, less risky but less income, investment with social concerns in mind but less income. What would you like to choose? This is from Satyanath. Or what would you like to suggest among that? Might be the best one.
Yes, see, one thing what I would like to say, like when you are investing in the stock market, you are not investing 100% of your money, right? Are you investing 100% of your money? If I have 100 rupees, if my income is 100 rupees, am I investing entire 100 rupees in the stock market? Definitely no. And if one does like that, entire money into stock market, then that is a wrong choice, first of all. Second part is, like, once I have invested money, right, then I shouldn't have a lot of attachment to that money, because market, it won't run according to what I wish to. I want profit, so tomorrow I want profit, so market will go up. So tomorrow I want profit, again market will go up. It doesn't work like that. So you have to have patience. You have to have patience and skillful ways. That you should be ready to bear the loss. But how much loss? Right? You should be ready to bear loss when you are in stock market, because these are not these are very what we can say, not fixed, right? Suddenly your income can increase, suddenly your income you can become zero, and suddenly you can become hero, right? So you have to think that some percent of your income you have invested in the stock market. You have not invested 100% of your income in the stock market. Okay, there are fluctuations, very right. So you have not invested 100% of your money in the stock market, and never do that, right? Never do that, not 100%, because it is a play game. So some amount can be there, and you should have your own limit of profit. How much profit? Okay, this much profit if I have earned, then I can take that profit, book those profit and come back, right? But if you feel, oh, still it is going in profit and tomorrow again I will wait and again it will attain some profit, then again I will wait, and suddenly that script it collapse and you book losses. So if you think that even 60% profit is okay for you, book 60% profit and again invest. If you have reached 60% profit, book that profit and go ahead. Again book the profit and go ahead. But problem lies where that you expected that 60% profit and suddenly tomorrow it is showing 85% of the profit and you enter into suffering. Oh, I should have not sold it. I should have not booked that profit. I should have waited for 2 days. So don't fall into this trap. These are traps. Don't fall. That's what I would like to say.
Thank you, ma'am. Let's see if anybody else have question for the last one. If anybody has a question, this is the last call for the questions. Please let us know. Okay. I think there are
No question, but I would like to thank you, Tayade Madam, and also thank you also for hosting the July session. We do appreciate your help on this course. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that's it, ma'am. Assuming that there are no more questions, we will be moving forward for the vote of thanks. Thank you, Truptirani Tayade, for joining with us today with an amazing topic and beautifully presented with the slides. And the line that you said, an individual becomes a family, and a family to a society, society to a nation, and nation to a universe. That is such a beautiful line. And we think that this is never too late to come across the topic and learn on the wealth and the efforts to maintain it wisely and learning the channels to lose them and how to keep it safe and how to invest it on oneself and also for the society and in the business era as well. And I think this is the right time for the youngsters to come across the topic and learn about the wealth. And I believe we all loved the way that you shared the talk and also for answering the questions to our audience. And Ambedkar Association of North America wishes you all the best in everything you do and success in all your endeavors and also good health. Thank you for joining us today and sharing your knowledge with us. And we would also love you to see in our upcoming sessions with another amazing presentation.
Yes, sure.
Thank you. And moving on to the vote of... I'm sorry, ma'am. Please go ahead.
No, yes, you can. Yeah.
No, this is just vote of thanks if you want to say anything before we move on.
Okay, so thank you, madam, for your this review. I enjoyed I enjoyed sharing my study with you. Thank you so much. My details are with Dr. Sheetal Meshram. So you can take the details because here I think some problem with typing the message. I can share my number. 14176.
I think that is the best way so that it is secure and safe.
Yes, wait.
While sharing.
329-141-760. But I'm trying to send it, but it is not allowing to send here something. Enter to send.
But we appreciate
so you can write
your
my
efforts,
number,
but you can
8329
8329
141
760.
760.
And
Yes.
is it the country code is India or
+91? Yes.
Okay,
India.
Dr. Sheetal Meshram already texted in the group.
Yes. And my email ID is truptirani@gmail.com. My complete name, Truptirani, Tayade, continuous, without any dot or space, Truptirani Tayade@gmail.com. Yes. T and T is small, Truptirani, T is small, and Tayade also T is small @gmail.com. Okay. So
Yes.
I again, so thank you so much everyone for your insightful questions and for taking this discussion ahead. Surely we can again meet sometime. And I thank everyone present here. I once again thank Ambedkar Association of North America. And I also thank Dr. Sheetal Meshram for giving me an opportunity to share my study with you all. So thank you all, and Jai Bhim once again to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to the vote of thanks for the session. I would like to thank Sunil Patil for starting today's Vihara with Buddha Vandana. And I would like to extend my gratitude Banteji Sirisivali for bringing a very informative Dhamma discourse again. And I also thank Anika Balera for the beautiful kids motivational story and also the kids who actively engaged in the story and wish them good health and do well in their studies. Thank you, Kranti, for monitoring the session and motivating the kids to come back to learn a new story and morals from each story every week. We also thank you, Truptirani Tayade, for joining with us today with an amazing topic and sharing us your knowledge. Thank you all the audience for joining us today. Let's keep ourselves learning new every week through Vihara. To receive your weekly updates, please subscribe and follow the social media platforms of Ambedkar Association of North America and share among the friends and colleagues such as YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. We would love to see you in our upcoming sessions with your family and friends and learn something new every time. And lastly, since this is my last hosting session, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Ambedkar Association of North America for giving me the opportunity to take and host the sessions. And it was a great way of learning from intellectuals and dynamic leaders from our communities every time. It is truly an inspiring session. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I would also like to thank Vivek Chavan and Mahesh Vasnik for guiding me through the sessions every time. Also, Pankaj Mashram and everyone from ANA. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you everyone for joining, and we would love to see you next week.